Affinity fraud is one of the most insidious types of investment scams because it targets the very foundation of human relationships: trust. This fraud specifically preys on tight-knit communities where members share common bonds, whether through religion, ethnicity, age, or professional connections. Understanding how these scams work is the first step in protecting yourself and your community from financial devastation. Affinity fraud refers to investment scams that deliberately exploit the trust and friendship existing within groups of people who share common interests, religious beliefs, ethnicity, or professional connections. The scammer essentially weaponizes the natural trust that exists in these communities. When someone from your church, your cultural organization, or your professional network recommends an investment, you're naturally more inclined to believe them. This psychological vulnerability is exactly what affinity fraudsters count on to succeed. The affinity fraud scheme typically follows a predictable three-step pattern. First, the scammer infiltrates a trusted group, often by joining a religious congregation, ethnic community organization, or professional association. Second, they spend time building relationships and establishing credibility within that community, becoming a familiar and trusted face. Finally, once trust is established, they pitch a fraudulent investment scheme, often claiming it's an exclusive opportunity available only to group members. The entire process is designed to lower the natural skepticism people have toward investment opportunities. Certain communities are particularly vulnerable to affinity fraud. Religious communities are frequent targets because members often have deep bonds of trust and regular social interactions. Senior citizens are targeted because they typically have retirement savings and may be looking for investment opportunities. Ethnic groups with strong cultural ties and close-knit networks become targets because members often turn to each other for financial advice. Professional networks, including industry associations and alumni groups, are also common targets because members share career interests and trust colleagues' business recommendations. There are several red flags that should immediately raise suspicion. First, be wary of promises of guaranteed high returns with little to no risk. Legitimate investments always carry some level of risk. Second, watch out for pressure to invest quickly or threats that you'll miss out on a limited opportunity. Scammers use urgency to prevent careful consideration. Third, if someone requests that you keep the investment confidential or exclusive to the group, that's a major warning sign. Finally, any lack of proper documentation, licensing, or regulatory approval is a clear indicator of fraud. Legitimate investment opportunities are always properly registered and documented. Affinity fraud is disturbingly effective for three main reasons. The trust factor is paramount. Victims naturally trust recommendations from members of their own community, lowering their guard against fraud. Social proof plays a powerful role, as it appears that other trusted members of the group are already investing, creating a bandwagon effect. Perhaps most tragically, there's a strong reluctance to report the fraud once discovered. Victims often hesitate to expose a fellow community member, fearing it will damage the community's reputation or their own standing within it. This silence allows the fraud to continue much longer than it otherwise would. Protection against affinity fraud requires a combination of skepticism and due diligence. Always verify all investment opportunities independently, regardless of who recommends them. Check with financial regulatory authorities to ensure the investment and the person selling it are properly licensed. Question any offer that seems too good to be true, because it almost certainly is. Take your time to research before investing any money. Don't let anyone pressure you into making quick decisions. Remember, legitimate investment opportunities will still be available after you've done your homework. Your financial security is worth more than maintaining appearances or avoiding awkward questions. The trust within your community is valuable and should be cherished, but that trust should never override common sense when it comes to financial decisions. Always verify investment opportunities independently, even when they come from people you know and trust. Scammers deliberately exploit relationships and community bonds, so don't let trust blind you to obvious red flags. Protecting your financial future isn't about being suspicious of everyone. It's about being smart, careful, and conducting proper due diligence on every investment opportunity, regardless of its source. Remember, true friends and community members will understand and respect your need to verify before investing.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.